Hello and what is up, Internet? Cliff B here once again, streaming some more scrap mechanics. So I just finished the survival stream and now we're in creative mode here. Why? Because we now have a goal. We have focus. We have a plan about what we're gonna do. Now last time I did this, I tried making a piston engine and that turned into an effing failure. Which I still have. For some reason I still have. But in this stream here, we're not going to be wasting our time with that. What we're going to be focusing on is creating a... Oh, my piston shut. So what we're going to be focusing on here in this stream is something that can basically do the harvesting. Because we now, like, are at the point in our survival mode where we can actually start harvesting stuff, like wood and metal. But we need something that's a bit more efficient than what we currently have. Wow, this is a slow piece of shite. I could have sworn this thing was faster. Or did I sum the wrong one? I might have summed the wrong one. I think this is the one that I've maybe tweaked and tuned, and you know what? Mistakes were made. It's not that one, it's this one. That's fast. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, find a place to build. Oh boy. See, this is what we need to make. Like a nice high-speed, quick mobility vehicle. Alright. So where should we build? Yeah, this is definitely something we need to conquer down and start making in like our world. You know, I could just fill that up, but nope, nope. Not doing this again. We are not doing this again. Oh my gosh. The amount of air this little thing can get sometimes is just amazing. Four springs, lots of metal bars for the frames. Pretty sure it's just a gas engine. The fact that you can actually hear like the wind rushing past just because this vehicle is ridiculous in terms of speed. And I think it's just using the bicycle, but that thing just like, it does have turning. Now that's interesting. So the way they do their turning is that the turning's underneath it. We're not here to showcase people's builds. We're looking for a spot to build on. Oh boy. Because the wheels are so far out that even... There we go. Spot the... Oh boy. If that triggers some type of vengeance. Alright. Now then. There we go. Alright. So the reason why we're here is we're gonna make the ultimate harvesting machine. That's also good for exploration here. So some caveats is we know the bottom has to be either the plastic blocks, or it's gotta be the barrier blocks, because the barrier blocks have ridiculous buoyancy. Now, truth be told, those plastic blocks, because they require like 5 metal, I mean not 5 metals, they require like 5 crude oil to get 10, they're gonna be expensive. And unfortunately, we can't afford that. So I think in terms of blocks here, We can't use that. Oh wow, straight up plastic blocks doesn't like. You can't use that, but these we can do. Also, if you're wondering why some of these things have like green or blue or anyway, that's not our focus. So right now, in terms of tools, let me get the weld tool out just to have that. So we know barrier blocks for the bottom. Do we know we're going to be using that good wood for the rest of the vehicle? So we know that. So basically, let's get that started. Oh gosh, Johnny. That's two, right? Yep, that's two. And how lengthy doesn't matter. Okay, let me see. How many did we just use? That's 84. Yep, that's about the same size as our creation. Because our creation used 80 of those barrier blocks, but we had like a slot left where it was missing some blocks. So it's good to know that, like, okay. So now we want to go ahead and do this. There we go. Because we know it's good wood all around. And I know this is technically called like wood block 1, but that's like such a generic name that I keep calling it good wood. So we know we are 2 blocks thick, and we have that base of like the barrier blocks, and then we have the walls. Now the only thing is, in creative mode, we can't put like things like storage units on the vehicle, because storage units just aren't a thing in like creative mode. So I can't put things like the locker in the back, or the small crate in the back. Just aren't a thing. Alright, so now we basically have the general outframe of our block here. Also, I cannot use the scrap blocks. In fact, we're not too deep. Now I think about it, we're only 1 deep. So, whoops. Alright, so we're only 1 deep, which we might have to change when we start to try to make a boat or a ship at this point to try to get across water. So that's done. That's hunky-dory. We have that. Now then. So we're good with the blocks. Let's go to the interactive, because you look, there's a tab for a consumable, but there's no consumables. And if you look in interactive, things are clearly missing from interactive, and some things still don't have names. Like for instance, these things here still don't have proper name. So yeah, there's that. Alright. But other than that, now the thing is, we're probably going to go for this driver's seat here, because the scrap seat is also too wide, and this is, I mean, and off this side like this. And then when it comes to the engine, we know we're not going to need multiple engines, because this one here, I believe has 5 connections, unless we have to upgrade that to have 5 connections, so we can have that there. Now I don't think the gas tank is here, right? Nope, so we can't put the gas tank in, but we know the gas tank is actually quite big, because I do believe it was like a 4x4. So one of the things we might have to do is, like on the back of this vehicle here, take this out, put the gas tank in there, and that way we can have that there, but there's nothing we can do because we don't have that gas tank. So for right now, that's just where the engine's gonna have to go. And then here, we know we're gonna have the holder for all our shit. So I think, yeah, in fact, what we can do is like literally take this layer out here, because we know something's gonna be going back here. So back here in the back of the vehicle, in fact, oops, that's not what I meant to do. So let's put that back, because we know it goes like this. Like we have this back here. because that's where our locker and storage units is. But I think what we're gonna have to do is literally take this out. You know what? We can actually leave that there. Extend the back of this vehicle. Like so. And what we can do is literally have the gas tank be back here. Because you know the gas canister can go like right here, but I do believe it's like 3 wide. So the gas canister can go right there. Then we can have the locker like right here. And then if we take this out, we can have the storage unit hanging off the back from there. Or we can just have the storage unit be like right here. Because we know, like, let's see, let's try to make this right. The gas unit is about this big. In fact, I think that's too wide for it now that I'm looking at it. I think it's like that big, really? Yeah, that looks closer to what we saw. So the gas tank is like that big. So, yeah, I can put this wall back here. Because if we want, all we have to do is extend this out like that. The locker can go ahead and block this whole entire unit. And we know the small chest, actually the small chest is a little bit bigger. So the small chest is like that big. So basically we can just do this. If we make it this wide, put like the smallest lip here. The locker can lay down here, which I feel like the locker is actually 3 wide, not 4 wide. I mean, it's just 2 wide in fact. Yeah, so the locker can lay down here like that. The small chest can go here. This is where the so yeah, let me get the paint tool. But I do believe the locker can go like right here. And then let's get the paint tool, and locker's about like grayish, right? Alright, so yeah. That means locker. And then that is gas container. And this here is the storage. Yeah. Right, so there we go. Alright, so that's all in the back there. So we have the gas container, we got the locker, we got that. We just need to make this. So that's going to be our back of the vehicle there. Now then, we are going to need controllers whether we like it or not. So if we do that, in fact, then I can actually move this here. So it's symmetrical. So one of the things we're going to need is the controller hands down, but how many? As of right now, let's get some parts. Now we're going to be using these because we know these are super common parts that the games like to hand us a lot of. And if it wants to hand us these parts here, then it'd be real not to use them, you know? So dogged. So that, and we do that. And now we're gonna need suspension, like eventually we are going to need suspension here. So let's go ahead and get suspension. Like that and that, and then there, 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 and there. front. Which one's still the same dealio here. Now what was interesting is that, like, I saw that invention where the guy had his that and this. And then let me get the bearings. Also, bearings is another thing we have to be worrisome about, because here's the thing, you know, these require the scrap metal. And the only way to get that scrap metal is by battling the bloody bots for it, and they don't seem to spawn as frequently as I thought they would spawn. So, you know, there's that. Alright, so that's all good. And in fact, we need 2 more here. 2 more here. Like so. And then when it comes to the wheels, like, we're gonna have to use these small wheels. As much as I would like the big wheels, unfortunately the big wheels requires more beeswax. And yeah, we just don't have that type of funds right now. Hold on. How do you handle this? So you are like that. The thing is that the back wheel's not so far down. Okay, so what we can do is hold on, is it using small wheels or big wheels? No, it's definitely the small wheels. I feel like that would touch the ground, but it's not, so it's fine. So we're gonna have to use that. As for the back wheels, that's not what I meant to do, game, and you know it. So I'm thinking is, oh boy. So if we do that, yeah, that's all we need to do, is just make it a little bit higher. Alright, so now, put that on there, put that on there. There we go, so let me check and make sure. Yep, it is back heavy, but we can fix any springs. What's up, Danny boy? Yeah, you really are a consistent viewer, Danny boy. And then you just come onto the stream and ask for me to make some type of, I believe, attack helicopter, or maybe that's an attack jet. We ain't doing that. So right now, what we're focusing on is basically our goal for a survivor mode. Or what I'm focusing on. These glitches, they be real. But anyway, so yeah. So that's the pace of the vehicles. So we know we're gonna have to work on 4 suspensions. Definitely. We're definitely gonna have to get some good wheels. Which is not meant to be like that. Yeah, I think it's like a bug where any blocks that has like range, like how much they can flex and bend and compress. Like the thing is, once you put them down in the world, they compress, and then when you put them back on the lift, it saves the state it was in. So that's why this looks like this. But it doesn't matter because technically once the vehicle's off the lift, that still works. Alright, so anyway, now that's done, so we're going to need a controller and a switch. Okay, let me get rid of all that. In fact, now I think about it. And you can go bye-bye as well. But I do need parts. Let me grab this. another gas engine. Controller, some switches, some bearings. Do it be making that Cybertruck? Yeah, sure. Let me just make the Cybertruck real quick. That's what we need. Alright. So you are actually gonna have to go back in that corner. And this is gonna be the engine that powers like the wheels and stuff. In fact, that'd be a good idea. And a logic gate. So I'm gonna need at least one controller. That there. I think. Nope, I think we're gonna need two logic gates. There and there. And a couple of switches as well that controls logic gates. Put the seat on its sides, it would be sick. There. Anyway, so now that that's done, so yeah, I have one engine that powers the entire vehicle. This engine can power just the drills and the saw bits. The logic gates can determine which ones are actually active. And then like the switches, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So you need to be connected to the seat here. Oh. Hate when you have two bearings right next to each other. It's very hard to tell which one. There we go. Make sure that it's forward. Okay, those are all good. And then this one has to be. Okay, the seat's bothering me. Right. So now as for this is definitely gonna have to be the ouch, my spine. What is Irish custom? Oh my gosh, what is it does this to me? This is definitely a glitch which they fixed already. Alright, so I know I'm definitely gonna need pistons and lots of them. Maybe even a sensor now that I think about it. Piston sensors. I'm gonna need the saw blades, drill bits, and what else? Got parts here. One of these, that's for sure. Custom basically are border patrols for package. Oh, you mean like mill customs? Oh, okay. No. We have that similar to the U.S. Sorry, I thought like when you said Irish customs, you meant something else, but you just meant like international mail. Yeah, okay. So what happened? They're holding your package. They think you did something wrong. They got you locked up and they won't let you out. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. That was terrible. Alright, and lights. So I think a couple lights there and there. Yeah. So I think what I'm gonna probably do is get rid of this one. I want that there. I think they're testing airsoft. Well, of course they're gonna test that, Danny. Okay? They can't trust you to not shoot your eyes out with a BB gun. They gotta definitely look into that. So what I'm gonna do is have this be here. Is that the right way? Yep. Okay. So just put that there. Go there, that goes there. And what we're gonna do is put a camera here. Camera there. Let's see. It has a stove on a certain energy, if not considered a firearm, and therefore illegal. It has to. Oh, it has to be under a certain energy. If not, it's considered a firearm, or you get a firearm license. Okay, so basically they're just testing how much it actually fires the BBs, like how much pressure. I mean, how much force is behind them. If they deem it to be too high, it's considered a weapon. If it's low enough, that it's considered a toy. That type of shiz. That might be a bit too close. So let's do that. That might be in the way. Please don't even have tasers let it go on to be armed police like man, that's good. Like more countries should adopt a we don't exactly need a firearm policy. That'd be nice. Alright. So there we go, that's the drill arm, and then we do the same for the blade arm. Actually blade arm's gonna be a little bit different because that blade arm doesn't need a lot. It just need when I press I meant to do this and then hopefully oh boy I might have to extend that by one because it might just be a bit too close by default. So let's go ahead and put that there. Yeah, like a hey, I mean, I would love to say that here in America that's a rare occurrence, but you've seen the news. You know what happens. Like the thing is, once you start giving everybody a weapon, like, who really controls them? You know? Like you're basically asking people to police themselves at that point there. Alright, so max light. Ouch. I actually heard it. Ooh. I mean, I do know what it's like to be danger close, so I do understand that feeling of like, well, this is taking all my safety away from me. But the sad part is, in some cases, like, there's literally nothing you can do about it. Just because you come into a pre-developed world, there's already, you know, shiznacks that goes on way before you even existed. And it just becomes a matter of, well, oh well, deal with it. I'm surprised you can tell just by the sounds, but I guess some do have very distinct sounds. was actually clockwise. Alright. Nope, that was also clockwise. Okay. In fact, hold on. I think I need 3 of these. Dang. Was that like the Irish 50 Cent there? Holy crap. Are these things too close to one another? Crap, I think they're too close to one another. Yeah, they are, because I think it's just those. Damn it! All over 500 pounds. You know, you say it was just 500 pounds, which would be a lot more in the US. But it's like, given the state of the world right now, that's a lot of money there to be owing somebody. You know? That's why, me personally, it's like, if I owed anybody anything, I paid it off as fast as possible. I don't want you coming after me like, yo, remember that money? Yeah, I'm gonna need that now. It's like, nah, we ain't doing that here. We're definitely not doing that here. So go ahead, put that there. Go ahead and put that there. Alright, there's probably too much junk in the way. Can I put that there? I can, but it's not the right way around. Is that the right way? Yep, there we go. What is this? Battle pots? It was like 6 months ago. Okay, good to know it's old. No. So basically I'm trying to make a harvesting vehicle here. So that way, in my survival world, I know what to actually make. And I'm not just like, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? If I have like a harvest bot, then I can easily get resources. If I can easily get resources, then I can make like a travel vehicle so I can actually get around the bloody map. So this is going to be my harvest bot slash exploration bot. If that makes any sense. So I'm trying to make this here, and I think I'm going to need 2 controllers. I am going to have to fix these wheels here. Is that clockwise? Yeah, that's clockwise. Alright, and you're clockwise, good. You go there. Yep, need you to go forward. Get it there. And you're going forward, good. The people who've done it at all, yeah, world be crazy place sometimes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need 2 controllers here, because I'm gonna need one to basically just control the arms to get them go like up and down, and then I'm gonna need another one to push these things forward here. Unless, no, I can get away with just one. It'd be difficult to do, but I'm pretty sure I can get away with just one controller here. Oh. Awkward. There we go. Yeah, I could probably get away with just one. Yeah. Okay. In that case there, do I really need these 2 things? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so just need that to go there. Yeah. The way, no, other way around. Need that to go there. That's correct. Alright. And then I need you to go here. And you to go here. Okay, so that's gonna move those arms. And then I want you to go there. And to my controller. Alright, so that's control number 1. And then you just go here. This will also go here. This might get a tad bit confusing. And now then, how do I want to do this? Actually, I'm gonna need 3 logic gates here. Because basically, what I'm going to do with these logic gates, I'm going to use it as gas savers. Because I want the drill to only spin once the sensor sees a block that it can drill. I don't want it like wasting my precious gas. That's why the sensor is here. So one sensor to a logic gate to the engine that tells the engine, okay, go ahead and activate. But can I have 2 of these to one engine though? Nope, it can only be 1. Alright, so I don't think we're going to be saving on gas here. Can I have 2 sensor to 1 logic gate? 1, and then 2. Okay, so I can have 2 sensors to 1 logic gate, so that's good. So I only need the 1 then. So I can send you to Oblivion. Sure, you to Oblivion, you to Oblivion. Let's put that there and let's save some materials. Alright, and that goes there. That goes there. Alright, and what does this need to be? XOR is either or, right? Or does it have to be and? Great, now I'm confused. I think it's X OR, so that way if I flip the switch, that's one input. And then it's going to look for an additional input from either of these 2 switches. So if it sees one of those, oh no, it has to be set to AND, I think. Yeah, because that makes more sense. I wanted to not only have this, but also if one of these switches catch something, so that way it's not wasting my precious gas. Yeah, there we go. Also just realized that this, oh no, that's fine. This doesn't need constant. Damn it, all the hell. Damn it. Alright, all of this needs to go to Oblivion. Alright, so that's fine, and now then, and let's say about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to make sure that if it sees something in within 5 blocks. As for you, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, same thing for you. So within blocks, we'll say 6. So it has to see something within 6 blocks of it to activate. Oh shit, this thing sees itself. No. Okay, it will see me. So it has to see something within 6 blocks in order to activate. Yeah. Alright. As for the light, lights, what we can do is real simple. Just go ahead and put a light there. Put a light there. And now, what I want is actually, I don't look that out. So I want it by default to have this one down. So gear 2. So by default, I want gear 2 to be down always 90 degrees. Right? And gear 1 stays up. And then once it activates, I want gear 2 to come up. I want gear 1 to go down. And then I want the pistons to push it out. So I want this to actually be out by, hold on, what is piston 4 is for the drill, piston 3 is for the blade. Right. So piston 4 I want you by default to be out 4 blocks. When activated, I want you to return. When you activate, I want you to be out by 3 blocks. Okay. So let's see how well that works in theory. Alright, so by default, the drill is always down. And I think you are just gonna have to go, oh dang. These are very granular. Not sure how much I have to upgrade them for them to be like that. Because I want the vehicle to be straight. So I should. Oh crap. That might cause an issue. That might literally cause an issue. Let's see how we do. So let's get to the seat. Let's actually combine that with the seat. So you know. Now I press 1. Right. No, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Alright. Yeah, there we go. So now I press 1. It puts in the drill, pulls out the saw blade, because I think we're going to be drilling more than we're going to be sawing. I press 1 again. Puts in that, puts in that. Okay, so this is gonna have to be either or. And it can't be and. Because I need it to like activate. Okay, we have next to no power. Okay, there we go. So now so that should be activated, and it sees that structure. Why is the engine not spinning? So it might have to be a case of let's do this instead. Let's see. No, I think nothing's connected to the engine. Didn't I connect this to the engine? Oh. That might help. So now, if it sees something it can drill, there you go. It starts it up. But once I go too far away, it automatically turns it off. So it can't be that one. It has to be an OR gate. No. There's sensor is not even seeing anything right now. So it has to be an N? No, not an engine. Let's try Nangy. Still active. Norkin. Finally turns the F off. Now if I get close to something to where the wood can see it. Nope. Not activating. Not activating. So it sees that and then it turns off. That's the opposite of what we want. I want it to be off until I turn it to, okay, so let's try an X NOR. Does that give me what I want? Off, you see an object, and immediately, that's when it starts spinning, because it sees that object. And now, we'll do the same for the other one. No. This is not what we want. Okay, so truth be told, the sensors are practically useless. The logic gate is useless because it's not saving us any fuels. We might just have to put it on a button. Yep. So I think what would be better is just putting this on its own separate button. There's no problem with this configuration. Get rid of that sensor since it's not doing anything. Hell, just put a light there. Just to make it easier to see. Alright, so I hit 1. So I can switch between Drago and Saw Blade. And then I hit 2. And there we go. Now the only thing about it is technically spinning the Saw Blade when it doesn't need to. So I might be wasting a bit of gas there. I mean, I do have 2 Craptastic engines here, and I only gotta need 1, so I could just put an engine to one, engine to another, and that will save on my fuel. But as of right now, we're definitely gonna need 1 controller, so we're gonna need multiple engines. Okay, so I think I have the spring configurations just right. Kind of like if both of them stay up like this, but that's not going to be the case. Turning is actually super good. Speed is good. So yeah, we are definitely going to want a good engine soon before we go insane. The harvester would be on the front, so I can go ahead, be like I'm sawing something. Yeah. So I come up to like this tree here. It's like, tree, you're in my way. That's okay. Let me just saw you a bit. There we go. Now the only problem is the vehicle moves. And that's what I don't want. So hold on. Let me see if I can make this more compact. Because one thing I can do is these pistons are not going to be easy to make. That's for sure. The pistons won't be easy to make. The switches, the gears, and that stuff I'm not too worried about. So what if we put both the saw blade and the drill in the same thing? Then we would need like 2 controllers. Definitely need 2 controllers in the end, but there is going to be a better way to do this. So let me go ahead and get rid of all this. I think I have a better idea here. So what if... Alright, so go ahead and put our wood back. Like that. Now then, the thing is, I think my vehicle is actually... my vehicle is definitely odd numbers wide. So that's fine, that's fine. So let's go up to 2 here. What I'm thinking is, make something like this. Put a piston here to push the thing forward. Then we're gonna need a piece like this, right? On one side of the equation. Oh, yeah, it helps if vehicles on lift when you're trying to use lift controllers. So on one side, actually, I already made a mistake. Need this here. Made a mistake again. So I'm going to use this here. Then this. And then this here. Nope, we can do it. Just one. Hold on, get rid of that for now. This is where the piston's gonna go. Definitely gonna need like 2 controllers with this design here. Alright, so that will allow us to push the thing forward. Now one of these arms, we're gonna have a good friend, Mr. Drill. To do that heavy drilling. On the other arm, we're gonna have Mr. Buzz to do that buzz sawing. Alright. Like so. So that way, you know, this one piston pushes the entire assembly forward. If we need to drill, then we have to drill lower it so it can go out, drill. And if we need to buzz saw, we can spin the entire assembly so the buzz saw is lower, and then it can go out and buzz saw better. Because the thing is, we saw is like with the buzz saw, it was a bit too high, so it wasn't doing a good job. It being, you know, a buzz saw. So with this design here, yeah, unfortunately it does mean we're gonna need like 2 controllers here. But right now, let's go ahead and take this all out the equation, right? Also, let's pretend that these are craptastic engines, not the good ones. So we're going to pretend those are craptastic engines. So we're still going to need that switch. We need that and that. Couple of switches. So what we're going to need is this, right? So one of these engines is going to go to our drill. And no, we don't want that. That's why we're putting down 2 engines. That and that. That's good. This gets one. This gets another. We're actually going to need more of these bladings. Like that many switches. Go there. That can go there. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with number 1. So that goes to that one. That's going to be our piston. Nope, number 1 is going to be rotation. So simple, when this is activate, rotate 180 degrees. Now then, this one is going to go to our piston. When this is activate, I want you to move this up by 1 block, and I think we're going to loop it. So it keeps moving. No, we're not going to loop it. You know what, let's make it to 5 blocks, shall we? So when 2 is activated, it's going to move the entire assembly forward by 5 blocks. When 1 is activated, it's going to go ahead and like I was having a moment there and I completely like just zoned out. So when 1 is activated, it will turn this 180 degrees. When 2 is activated, it pushes forwards. When 3 is activated, that's going to be the drill, I think. When 4 is activated, that's the buzzsaw. So that way, you know, we are using dual engines, but we're not wasting the gas. Yeah, that's all correct. That's all correct. Now, if I go ahead and lift that, how are we doing? Good. So let me see. 1 rotates the entire assembly. Now it does lift the thing a bit, but that's fine as long as we don't get stuck. And then 2 pushes the entire assembly forward. And yeah, no, that's actually the best because that gets that buzzsaw nice and low. And the drill is also, it could be a tad bit lower to the ground. So that way we can refine things with it. But we definitely want that buzzsaw nice and low. Now the problem is stability. So if I take this invention right now, right? So let's press 2, bring this in. What is 3? Alright, so what's 3? So 3 is my solid light. 4 is my drill. Alright. I'm pretty sure the faster these things spin, the more it does its work. So let's head back to this tree and let's pretend like for a second here this tree is diggable, right? So we come up. Did I say a tree is diggable? So we come up to this tree, it's like, yo, I'm a tree. I'm just out here in nature. And it's like, yo, I'm about to saw you, man. So we're gonna press 1, get that buzzsaw nice and low to the ground. Then we're gonna press 2 to extend the entire assembly a bit further out. And now, I think it's 3. See, it's cutting, but I don't want the vehicle to move. Because the moment it hits something, it moves sideways. go ahead and set power a little bit. There we go. Actually, this is pretty stable now that I think about it. Because what I was thinking is, you take like another piston and have it be on the back of the vehicle, and it pushes like that bottom layer of wood down. But no, this is pretty stable. So we have that. We go ahead, we saw our tree. Our tree gets sawed. It's like, oh, good, it's all sawed. So we pull that in. We go ahead and spin that just because more clearance. There we go. We collect our woods. Yay! I mean, there's a lot of role playing you gotta take care of, you know. This actually goes quite fast. Okay. And there we go. So that's a harvester. Now the only thing is, like, I think we can improve just one more thing here. So if I go ahead and take this out, right? Completely remove this. Now then, this might cost us a bit, but I think for the back here, because the problem is the back is back heavy. So I think back here is what I want to do is, instead of the wood, I think the wood's gonna be a problem here. I might have to spend the resources to get the plastic. So if I go ahead and take this out, right? And now we want to use the plastic instead. By the way, how much plastic is that? 12. Okay, so that's good. I think I could take out one more layer. Put in more plastic. How much plastic is that? So that's 18. So that's good. That's good. That's good. So now if we do it like that, right? Because that plastic is more buoyant than the barriers. But we need one more piston. Just one more. That's just back here. And what I'm thinking is insulation block. What the F is this? There are so many blocks. But I think, what is it? Stone is somewhat buoyant, but it has high amount of friction. I'm looking at friction. What's better? Is it stone or is it metal? Nope, stone definitely has way more friction than metal. What about sand? Sand has crap friction. Oh no, that's concrete I'm looking at. Where is regular basic pitch stone? So this is a scrap stone block, and it has lots of like friction. Good. So what I'm thinking is, if we take the scrap stone blocks, like so, and we have it to like, when we are set to like drill something, that pushes down on the ground. So that way it's like, so that way, like let's say with what's going towards the, I think it's this one up front. So we just have it be there. Alright, so now, let's say like 3 blocks. After it extends out, I want this to go down like 2 blocks, right? So that way, let that fall. That goes out, and that pushes down the brown. Okay, so it needs to go out by 1 more block. 3 blocks. So when I press 2, that goes out, that pushes on the ground, so that way we are angled downwards. So, yeah, so let's go back to this tree example, right? So we have this tree here. You know, we need to gather wood from it. Oh boy. Oh, do like that is actually, I can just do that as well. So let's say we're here, right? So you see this tree here. We want that saw blade to be down like that. we're going to get into position. What? Malwarebytes, what the F? I am in a get you sack of. Anyway, well, Malwarebytes just like goes and like, I don't know, does something. So we have, this comes out like that. Oh, we want to make sure we are in position because once that's out, yeah, so it does make it a bit more annoying, but so yeah, we want to hit 2, make sure we're holding forward so we're actually going forward. And that keeps us locked in position, so that way once we start sawing this tree here. Okay, even with all that friction, that's not doing much. Or even being pushed. Yeah, I think the saw blade, unfortunately, is being angled down to the ground too much. So maybe not. Maybe it would be better if it's with the drill and not the saw. Because with the drill, hold on, let me check that real quick. Let me press 2. Wait, not that. Not 3, 4. Yeah, that works way better when it's with the drill than it's with the saw blade. Alright, that's fine, that's easily fixable. So all we have to do is go ahead, take this off of that. We're gonna instead put that on the drill arm, which is, I think, oh crap, which one goes to the drill? So the drill goes to, follow that line, the one in the back. So I know drill goes to 3, but unfortunately they're not labeled, so I don't know which one is 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think I did like this. Drill is 4. So we tell it on 4, right? I want that and that. Then when I hit the drill, that's when that goes down. Okay, it has the next to like no range. What the hell? So on 4, like, so that way I can still do the 2, extend the drill, but if I need to get down to the ground here, I can do that. So that way it's angled downwards, we're not moving around too much. But if I need to use a saw blade, I can still use the saw blade. Without any issues. See what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I think this is going to be a harvester we're going to need to make. Oh, one last thing. Jets. We're going to need jets. Because I think we can float with this. I think we have enough buoyancy with the, like, the wood and whatnot to float. The stone might be the only thing that's worrisome. But if we put jets on this thing, that should fix that issue. So let's go ahead. How the hell are we gonna get jets on it? So I think jets is probably going to be on this side maybe. Unless I can just go ahead and make a spoiler for the jet. So let me do that instead. So what I want to do is grab the wood here. In fact, I can just put that at the front, can't I? Yeah. Because all I need to do is this. There you go. So do that. Do this. And now throw that away and interactive. Now, ideally though, This is going to be expensive just to get the one jet, not the two. Let's make a one jet configuration of this, shall we? Yeah, that might be better than having two jets. And luckily the vehicle is even numbers. You can do that quite easy. Although, where is our weight focus? Because I think we're still back heavy, even with this dying thing. We might still be back heavy. But no, I kind of want the jets to be out front. Or what we can do is literally this, right? Oh, those switches are not gonna be there because that's, I only have one block in front of me, so all the switches are gonna have to be in front. That's fine, that's fine. So what I can do is this. Okay, so we go ahead, we extend it out one more time. Okay, we're apparently too close to the seat there. Yep, so right here we are too close to the seat. So what I can do is that. And then I can go ahead and put my jet down. Like so. So that will get us in the water here. The only problem is turning is going to be nope, turning can be easily fixed. So all we would need to do is literally go here, play this all out. Much junk's down here. So we are going to need one of these still and a bearing. Bearings on the diff, right? Alright, so if you put a bearing there, oh, that doesn't work because my chair is in the way. Oh, that easy fix. Just put a pipe. And once again, I'm using these immediate pipes because so far they seem to be the one that the game is okay giving you lots of. Alright, so it's going to be somewhere near the center. I don't feel comfortable with just one point of contact for that pipe. So even though I'm not sure this is needed or not, I'm just going to do that real quick. Gonna fall off my vehicle for the umpteenth time. Just so I can do this. Alright, so with that there. And now I think, oh boy, we might have to upgrade a suite to the max for all these connections to work. Clockwise. There we go. And one more switch for it. Interactive. Maybe not a switch, maybe a button to control this a bit better. So button that goes there. That goes there. Yeah. So as is, let me see how powerful you are. Oops. Not that. Okay, so we didn't have ground friction, right? And we're using the water. I think that would work. So I think this is it here. And yeah, it turns the right way. Okay. Now the question is, would that work in the water? Do we have to switch that in the water? So if I did this, yep. Okay, so guys, I think that right there might be the cheapest harvester possible. I mean, technically we can make it cheap, or it is strictly a harvester, but I think, let's say cheap is, Forester, yeah, that's what it's called. When you're exploring and you're collecting, you're foresting. So this will be the cheapest forester possible. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing fancy about it. Now this back here is literally just a locker. In all honesty, I feel like all this can go. And I know, like, oh no, this is gone, but it's like, yeah, I honestly think we don't need the, like, alright, yeah, that's supposed to imitate, like, the gas tank. So let's grab that paint tool real quick. Yeah, I think we use this color here. There we go. So that's the gas tank. That's the bubble wrap. And then if we want it, the thing is I'm just trying to make it a tad bit cheaper. So if we use the scrap stone, because that's the cheapest wood we can get our hands on. Actual good wooden block here. Now, once again, this is all based upon theories. I would love for there to be actual, you know, water in harvestable, like, thingamajigs. Like harvestable stone and wood on a regular map. So that way, instead of just assuming that this would do the trick, I would know for sure, like, hey, this would do the trick. Because that's the thing about it, it's like, I can't put a resource collector on this. I can't actually saw a tree or mine some woods to know for sure, like, hey, this is it. So I think when you connect something to a, resets it. My downstairs neighbors sometimes, with the throwing of the temperature tantrums and whatnot. Sorry, not to snap the spine, but I think this would work here. I kind of like that, even though it's completely by accident. Just like derp, derp, derp. So it's definitely not made for combat, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's 4 suspensions. These are scrap engines. Like, in fact, let's even paint them. You know, we'll paint them like this color. So, you know, those are supposed to be scrap engines, not the good engines. Only good engine is this one back here. This is the good engine. So, like, 1 good engine, 4 good wheels, some off-road suspensions, which might be a tad bit expensive. Unfortunately, 2 controllers, so that's going to be pricey. Quite a few switches and buttons, but here's the thing, that just costs scrap metal, which I think is probably going to be expensive. But at the end of the day, it's like, and a jet engine, so it's should be amphibious with how we built it. In fact, just to make sure, make absolutely sure that we have enough buoyancy. Because ideally, I would like the entire bottom just be the bubble wrap, but that's not going to be possible. So what we can do is that. There we go. yeah. So in terms of a Forester, this should be it. If there was actual water here, I'd test the floating. But yeah, we had that thruster that we know can move this vehicle when it's on land, so it definitely should be able to move it in water. It's nice and zippy. It has good hops. It's got like the saw blades. You know, we can change it. We can get that saw as low as possible because we do need it low. We got the drill here. It's a little bit up, but don't worry about it. Once we press 4, the vehicle angles downwards so that drill can go into the ground, so you can grind stuff on the ground. 3 operates the saw blade, so they're independent of one another. We got that 2 to push it forward. So if we're trying to drill or mine something in a mine and drill, pretty much the same thing. If we're trying to drill or saw something at a difficult location, we can do that. We have 5 on a button, so we're not wasting massive amount of fuels with thrusters. And it's designed again, you know, hold in dairy, a gas cleaner. In fact, I think it has like a little bit too much power. So I think we can actually go ahead, turn it down to like this notch here. There we go. So ideally, I think that's it. Those buttons we're definitely gonna have to move because they're all gonna have to be like just in front of the machine. But yeah, and it seems to be climbing just fine, so we can go off-road with this. We can go up hills with this. Okay, we might get a little bit more power. But yeah, off hills fine. The suspension is good enough. We got some lights so we can see. And then, you know, if you come across trees, we can easily mine them. If you come across stone, like look at this stone here. Love to be able to, like, you know, go in here like, oh, look at this stone, it's beautiful. Press 2. Extend that stone, and then we press 4. And there we go. Don't even have to hold forward. We can actually just let the drill do its thing. And then, you know, tell it to calm down a bit. Thing about it is I might want the drill to go slightly more forward. 4. But yeah. Okay, that's not touching anything. So yeah, we might want to put the drill slightly in front of the, in fact we can fix that right now. So we want you to actually be slightly more forward. Where's that cheap metal? And then, I'm not sure why the drill is considered interactive when you don't interact with it. So, there we go, that puts it a bit more out, maybe one more notch. So there we go. So now, that works much better. So we come here, right? Drill hits. It's like, perfect position. Boom. We can see the dust, we can see the sparks. I say that works. And then we can press 1, switch it over. And the thing about like when we're drilling wood is technically we can do so from the sides because we got that nice little blood saw. So we can come here, like look at this tree right here, you know? In fact, what we can do is close that, trap the wood in between the drill and the buzzsaw. Okay, so we might need a little bit more horsepower than I think we need, because it seems like for finer or granular movements, that's where we struggle a little bit. Because once we build up a power, we can move. But yeah, so we do that. And I didn't know sparks. Okay, which one is connected to the drill? There we go. And you should get more power. So we come in here, it's like, oh, we need to drill something, that's fine. Go to the sides, cut down the tree. Once it's low to the ground, you know, our drill is practically on the ground. I mean, our saw. So that's actually good. Wait, can we break this? Oh no, I think this is a different type of corn altogether because it looks a bit dead. Anyway, guys, this stream has been going on for long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and have to end this stream here. But I think at the end of the day, this creation here is probably what we need to aim for in survival mode as a very cheap and effective. Oh crap! No. Oh my gosh, that nearly scared me to death. So we can actually see the build cost materials here. We need 10 bearings, we need 20 days of that, 4 of that. 2 legs. Cheap and good forester. Sorry. So we're gonna go ahead and save that. So this is what we're gonna build. But otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. If you like this, please be sure to tune in. Well, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, which is my day off. On Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 1800 hours for what we're gonna be streaming. I don't know what. We'll figure it out on that day. Other than that, I am Cliff B. I am signing out. Bye, Internet.